Hello, you're watching Avenue X, and today let's talk about a recently started airing Chinese period drama, 国色芳华, Flourished Peony. This is a 40 episode period drama that has started airing on January the 7th on Mango Television and then on Hunan Satellite Television. It's based on a novel written by the author Yi Qianchong with the same title as the drama has it. It was actually initially published back in 2011 on the website Qidian. It is directed by Ding Ziguang, who is the director of 2 years ago opening of the year mango drama 去有风的地方. The adaptation scriptwriter is Zhang Yuanyang, who also took part in the writing of First Shot last year from Youku. In terms of casting, this drama is led by Yang Zi and Li Xian, being their second collaboration. The second lead couple will be played by Wei Zheming and Zhang Yaqing. I'll quickly put the synopsis together here for you, and then we're gonna go into my opinions about it. The drama is set roughly at early 700s. It hasn't been very specific about timing, and then I think it will mix the story's own creation of whatever the ruling power is and the actual historical figure that we already see a supporting actor playing at this point. Coming up will be Tang Xuanzong's role for 4 decades. This is right at the beginning or right before it happens. And our female lead character, He Weifang, she is Luoyang, which is the eastern capital of Tang Dynasty at the time, resident who comes from a business family. Her family is very rich, but business class people back then were like the lowest class people within the social structure. And she married up by the society's standards into a scholar and official family. But she isn't happy in her marriage, and her married family doesn't treat her very well. Very soon, she leaves that married family and marriage, moved to the western capital, Chang'an, which is current Xi'an, and then started her own business of selling peony flower because she has great botanist skill that she learned from her mother. Along the way, meeting our male lead character played by Li Xian, who is an official, kind of mid to high rank official, but very young, who also happens to be a person that plays an identity in the public's eyes, but actually is a very different person than what he portrays. On the surface, he is the Hua Niao Shi, which is literally translated as flower and bird ambassador, a type of project manager that exists in Tang Dynasty court where the emperor just wants a specific thing gets done. So he bypasses all existing structure and just points somebody to do a specific task. For this type of ambassador in real Chinese history, it's actually very infamous because they go around the country scouring for the emperor, pretty young women. Whoever you are, whether you're married or not, does not matter. If they think you are gonna be a good fit for the emperor's harem, they just literally grab you. And our male lead character is such a character, but obviously he's a male lead character, so that is just his front. Like, he does other things. Anyway, that's the setup. They're gonna meet, they're gonna fall in love, and basically set up to be the good friends of the coming up emperor, of the longest reign of one emperor in the entirety of Tang Dynasty history, coming up 44 years of ruling until like everything went tits up. If you read Chinese history, you'll know Tang Xuanzong epic story. I have watched up to episode 13 at this point. I can give it a 1 goat mine. I see a lot of difficulties for it to go up, and in many ways I feel it's a pity. I really want this drama to be good. A lot of setups they designed for the characters that just didn't get written well. Great material, the freshest fish, the most vibrant organic vegetable, you try to make a dish and then you screw up on stove. That's kind of the situation right now. First, let me talk about what I think is still worth watching, and definitely you can check out this drama for a bit and decide whether you want to continue. Point number 1 of this drama that is worth watching: high medium level production within current Chinese period drama land. If you think about Tang Dynasty set in period dramas and the highest production standard you have, maybe in recent couple of years, would still go to Chang'an 12时辰. This one is not up to that level, but then it's better than, say, 90% of other period idol dramas. Overall, even the vibe that the drama is trying to evoke is standing in between proper historical and then period idol drama. And then you can also say hardware-wise, this drama is also at that place. Building sets, costumes, even just the big scenes and how many people are present and how beautiful things look, you definitely see money being put in. This drama replicates certain historical looks, costumes, hair ornaments, makeup styles that you do find in historical record of Tang Dynasty, although it's not evenly applied to all characters. Number two, this is a pair drama, but it's a 原声 drama, which means it's original voice from all the actors, and I believe most of it is recorded on set. Advantage of that is it's happening in the moment. Disadvantage is if they're not very good, then you can clearly see imperfection. Also, this drama's plot, particularly, let's say, the first 6 episodes or so, when the female lead is still in Luoyang and she's in her first marriage and she's trying to get out of it because it's a really suffocating and literally life-threatening situation for her. That part of the plot is actually very packed. You don't even get really an opportunity to slow down and breathe and think through whether exactly everything that is happening right now makes sense. As she moves to Chang'an, it starts to slow down and I start to do speed through. That's how I watched it. So this drama, at least for parts of it, I think is not wasting your time. Another point on the positive end of this drama is everybody is acting relatively normally. This again is comparing to a lot of completely designed for fandom idol dramas. For example, led by Yang Zi herself. I know it's popular, Lost You Forever, but I never liked 1 or 2, and I've said that very publicly on my channel all the time. So if you compare that drama, the character on paper and how she played it, to He Weifang, this character in Flourished Peony, and how the actress plays it, this one at least looks a lot more like a proper drama that definitely wants to create a real character, including her and Li Xian and a couple of leading actors and actresses. They carry the story through like a normal story. You may not get impressed by anybody's acting, but it's unlikely that anybody is going to make you go, I'm not watching this. This is a waste of my life. So that's still a positive thing because most period dramas cannot do that these days. If I reflect on how I watched this drama, day 1, 4 episodes released, I watched all of them on Mango. I was like, oh, I'm curious to see how they're going to set up the female lead, the male lead, like what is the secret behind the male lead. You can clearly see there's no way that he's just going to be a playboy, and how are they going to reveal that to the female lead and to audiences. I was overall quite pleased, and it looks pretty. I mean, compared to idol fantasy dramas, this is a much preferred look and texture of a drama for me. As it moves on to, like, say, next day, 2 more episodes, next day, 2 more episodes, and then over the weekend, they air only 1 episode a day, it starts to just get, particularly around, I think, episode 10, 11, it starts to give me an urge to fast forward. So I see the trend of the story slowing down and then falling into a lot of extremely expected tropes. So that's why most of this video is still going to be talking about the not so good things that I noticed about this drama. In no particular order, first, Li Xian's acting, I find, is too on the surface. He's playing somebody who is basically a two-faced person. The ideal way of playing this playboy character, who's actually not a playboy, would be 90% of the time, he plays it really convincingly to you as audience and to all the characters in the story. But you have to, at the same time, give people very clear hint about if he's not that type of person, then what really is he? He does play he's not that type of person, but then specifically what then is the real Li Xian's role is not very clear. And the contrast is not strong enough. Basically, the facade and the inner of this person is like in our imagination rather than the actor carrying it out. Also, I haven't watched a Li Xian drama for a long time, so I have almost forgotten what he sounds like normally. And the drama he's been in previously that I liked most is Tianjin Mystic, where he actually got dubbed. So I don't have a strong impression of his voice in my head. This time, his real voice, real on set, and I hear it, and his line delivery has problems. Not too bad compared to very bad actors in China, but definitely not up to standard of professionally trained actors. He's not a diaphragm talker, his voice doesn't project, and then his Mandarin has serious problem of missing all its ng, so all its nasal on. 圣人 becomes 圣人, which totally becomes 2 different words and meaning different things. It's not too bad because I can understand it. But then when he speaks to a person who has perfect Mandarin in the drama, the older actors, it definitely affects my understanding and my appreciation of this character. On script level, this character has a problem of we are by this point over a quarter of the whole drama, yet the male lead, how is he engaged with the female lead? Is still very lukewarm, very little by little, no significant leap. And then episode 12 and 13 does have 2 plot point that links together that creates this supposedly big secret reveal of what the guy really is like. But the drama shot and wrote it in such a bland way that it didn't achieve the dramatic tension and release that such plot points are designed to do. So now I'm at the point where I know Li Xian's character is the lead character, but I'm not that interested in him. In many ways, still am more curious about how they're gonna play out the male second line, 魏哲明 role. Because so far, dramatic tension-wise, potentially on characters, right? You see more on the male second than the male lead. I feel the drama really didn't think through that this is, at the end of the day, still a typical idol drama where you want people to invest most of their energy and interest in the lead couple. So far, it's the big female lead story where the male lead is peripherally just like existing like a mist, but not a clear figure that is on par with the female lead. So that's one of the very big problems I have. Number two, I feel this drama is trying to do too much at the same time, and it may well end up being not doing anything well. It's trying to have a classic idol period drama, the male lead, the female lead destined to be together. It's trying to be the big female lead. The independent ancient time woman somehow makes it happen, recreating the glory of Tang Dynasty, which is technically impossible. Trying to inject a lot of those current contemporary values that is hot and women's power, independence, all that, but then still trying to have the traditional idol period dramas way of unfolding the story. It's just trying to get at everything and yet not getting anything perfectly sorted out. Third thing, Yang Zi's acting. In the positive side, I said it's better than the completely detached fictional period fantasy drama she's been in. As the plot moves to when she moves to Chang'an, I have this constant feeling of when I watch her perform, she is not really fully immersed in her character. And she's like 20% outside of the drama being aware of the fact that she is the lead of the narrative of a story. There's an invisible camera watching her. And because she is protected and destined to be the winner at the end of the narrative, therefore she's fine and she doesn't need to be really too startled at any difficulties coming her way. She has this detached from the story's reality calm and poised sense. Particularly when you see her performance contrasting Qin Wunyang, the woman that she saved from the domestic violence husband and become her first business partner. If you see these two women, they're like in this little temple having nothing and talking about their future planning, the assuredness of Yang Zi's character, when in reality, from that character's perspective, she doesn't know the future. She could well be murdered the next day or some shit is gonna happen. She has very little to rely on. Yet somehow she has this like confidence that comes out of nowhere that she's like, it's all gonna be good, all gonna be fine, like positive energy, all that. It just doesn't feel believable. Whereas the other woman, real normal people in the story world, she just got out of a really terrible relationship. She has nothing. She doesn't even know how to read. And she has completely no bearing of like what tomorrow is going to be. And this jittering, scared energy of the character is being portrayed really, really well by the actress. In contrast, Yang Zi is just way too confident. I don't know if you should say that it's completely on her or maybe on the director. Because if I'm the director watching that type of performance, I may just call it and say, can we do it in a more realistic way where you have actually no clue about whether you're gonna still be here tomorrow? And I constantly get this sense of Yang Zi almost is in the zone of she knows she needs to perform a perfect character and also a perfect top-tier actress of her age range to her fans. It's not necessarily loyal to the story setting, but it's loyal to people's expectation of her being her in the business. I mean, I can occasionally, from moment to moment, believe her character, but as a through line, there's just this icky feeling behind it. They're in a way playing a scriptwriter instead of the character. Another thing about this drama that had I not known, it wouldn't really bother me that much. I would just say it's a very average, normal idol drama setup of characters and how they do it. But then once I actually kind of found out what is the original novel setup of the characters and compared to what the drama has done, I'm just like, you actually took out the interesting and unusual part of the setup and you made it just a typical idol period drama. the female lead's growth is completely relied upon basically the environment treating her unfairly. It's a really old tropey way of doing it that worked out 20 years ago probably, but now it's like everybody has seen it, and it basically is taking out all the active part of the female lead, dropping you in boiling water. And I mean, if you are a human, you're gonna jump out. And it doesn't show like you have like stellar character or something different from the average person. It just says you are biologically human and you're just trying to survive. For example, the female lead character's terrible husband family in the original novel is just not like that at all. First, she didn't marry the guy because she wants the medicine to save her mother. In the novel, she married the guy because she's sick, and the fortune teller figured out the guy has the perfect 八字, which is Chinese astrology chart, that can save her. And this guy's father is an official who happens to be involved in this corruption thing that he owes money to the government, and if he doesn't fill the hole, he's gonna go to jail. The business family, who is a lower class but richer, decided to dump money on the official family to fill that hole, so save them, but at the same time marry the daughter to them so that she can be saved, because supposedly after they marry, her child will be fine. And that's how it happens. So it has this odd power play that's completely a reverse of what the drama has done. The drama put it in the tropey, normal way of the female lead is lesser of the male lead family, therefore she doesn't get respect. The husband's family actually steals her dowry, which does not exist in the original novel. On the contrary, the original novel's husband family actually, because they are the official, right? They are very proud of their status in the society. They can't bear the fact that they take money from the business people, so they try to pay the money back, actually. Little by little did that. So it's a complete reverse again from stealing the wife's dowry to actually not wanting to take it and feeling owing things to them. A potentially more interesting story becoming extremely bland and average. Yes, it does torture the female lead a lot, so you see a lot of plot dramatic things happening in the first couple of episodes, but when you think about it, it's just all so typical. And then when you think more about it, it does not make logical sense, particularly the part where the princess teamed up with the female lead so that she can set herself up being caught in public doing things with a married man so that she can force the marriage between her and that married man. And then they actually set up this princess as somebody who would murder a bunny because the bunny isn't a gift to her but to the female lead. I'm like, oh, what? If she is really that bad and psycho, I doubt she would want to sacrifice her own reputation so that she can marry this guy. I mean, she has a million ways to get rid of the female lead. Just snap her finger and she will get killed and erased from history, and nobody would care because, you know, this is already being set up about what she can do. So why would she agree to the female lead's plan of, let me get caught kissing your husband half naked, and I mean like shoulder exposure in front of all the elites of Luoyang? I can't convince myself that that scene actually logically makes sense in any way. I am really confused about this drama. At certain points, I always feel like, is it written by one person or did things get changed on the spot? So that brings to the last point, kind of, which is a couple of things I've noticed in recent episodes that I will use as an example of why I feel this drama. Earlier, I said is it has the freshest material, like money-wise, budget-wise, costume-wise, set-wise. It's already pretty good compared to other period dramas in China, but then it gets the good material and then it spoils it on stove. Episode 12, female lead discovered the male lead is actually a good person. He has an orphanage, typical, that he spent money and taking care of children. How it happened, how she finds out, and then how the butler of the guy's family talks to the female lead. I already complained that on Xiaohongshu, which I recently just opened up because I know a lot of TikTokers are moving to Xiaohongshu, so you can search Avenue X and you'll find me. Female lead finding out good things about male lead that's behind his facade ideally should happen without the male lead also present. If the guy is right in front of you and you found out he's a good guy and then there's another person literally standing next to him saying, oh, my master is a good person, it's like, who would write that? Primary school student wouldn't even write that. It's just so buzzkill. Like, every potential dramatic tension you can create with that plot point is completely cancelled out by your own writing. Another point happened right after episode 13 when the female lead witnessed the male lead on a rainy, dark night. Seemingly he killed somebody and she got scared and she ran away. Now she's not sure whether this is a good guy, bad guy, and she's scared because she's a witness and this guy is very powerful. If he finds out, she will get killed and stuff. And how is the male lead became aware of that she is present? The drama literally gave you, like, I'm not kidding, the plot of he found a piece of skirt's cloth get caught on a branch where the female lead was hiding, and then she ran away and she didn't notice her clothes got torn. So there's this piece of clothes left there. And the guy just walked up to it and found it. He took it to her, kind of suggesting, you know, I was there. I know you were there too, and you saw it. Leaving a piece of cloth or dropping your hairpin or dropping your jade or, like, I don't know, your earring, whatever. And so the guy conveniently found out you've been there. Can we just think about something else? Why do people always drop something? Finding out a secret about the female lead that she is trying to hide from the male lead. How do you create dramatic ups and downs? Use a contrast example just happened. Let's take Blossom out. A typical idol drama, by no means having the same amount of money, but did storytelling 10 times better. Setup is male lead always dreams about a girl who has this birthmark behind her ear, and he knows this girl is special, but he doesn't know it is our female lead. He got hurt, she saved him, and they had this in the bedroom, very intimate talking scene with the candlelight on. During their talk, he held her face, so his fingertip got behind her ear and touched her skin. Afterwards, he's dressed up all and had medicine, and he's going back to his house and trying to revenge. And he is very likely to die there and not coming back. So he talked to her and said, if I come back, I'll come back and find you. And she's like, okay. So they part. He walks into the courtyard, the wind is blowing, the leaves are falling down, and he just accidentally felt something on his fingertip. And he realized it's the powder behind her ear to cover the birthmark. The camera actually goes around him and then pull the focus on him, and he suddenly becomes aware that she is hiding it, which means she is the girl who has the birthmark. And she is the girl in his dream. He doesn't know why, but he suddenly has this, like, revelation of she's special, and he turns around, she's already gone. And you know, he's going into battle, he might die, although he wouldn't. But like that moment of setup, right, is playing with camera language, playing with order of things happening, playing with the specifics of he accidentally found out her secret and wasn't aware of it until the moment he finds it out, she's no longer there to receive it. You have the couple of ups and downs, and playing with that expectation and hooking the audiences with the emotional ride of that tiny little revelation of information of lead character, and also just pushing their relationship forward a little bit more from the male lead side, because now he is aware that she is special in ways that may not be explained in reality, but they are destined. And because of what happened before that scene and what happens next, that scene in the middle is just such a nice breathing point of this highly emotionally and fatally charged star-crossed lover moment. Talk about pacing, talk about how you maximize every second you have within an episode to tell an effective and hooking romantic story. The purpose of that is the same between two scenes of the two dramas, revealing a secret of a female lead. She's trying to hide from the male lead side. But which one is more effective, dramatically more hooking, even the camera language and how it gets edited into the story. Blossom is budget-wise a lot lesser, star-wise a lot lesser, everything considered a lot lesser, and more typical idol period drama. You look at 国色芳华, it's like you're wasting it. You're wasting all the money you have at hand, that you can just do so much and you just don't do anything. You're just sitting there. It's lazy writing and unengaged direction. And I feel like it's pity. That's why I said in the beginning is I feel this drama is such a pity. It could have been so much more, even if you don't change any of its plot. Even there are a lot of things I don't like about character setup and the changes they've made from the original novel to the current adapted script. But let's say if you keep everything, you don't change any plot points. Even if you just change how you shoot everything, how you time it, how you edit, it will be so much better, dramatically speaking. That's why I feel bored watching this drama. Like I'm constantly dragging the playhead. I'm double speeding it, particularly when it just happened right after Blossom. Blossom is by no means a masterpiece of drama, but it's a qualified idol period drama that at least when I was watching it, I was always worried about the female lead and the male lead. I want them to get together, and when they get together, I'm like smiling like their auntie. Watching Flourished Peony, I am nobody. I'm not auntie, I'm not mother, I'm not bystander, I'm not like shipping and eating sugar, not even close to like colleagues looking at other colleagues getting engaged and feel good for them. If this drama continues to have this energy, very likely I would drop it somewhere along the line. So that should be the end of my passing a quarter mark review on the drama Flourished Peony. I think it's still watchable to an extent, and it's not something that I would say avoid it like plague for my audiences. I think if you like the two leads, particularly if you loved Go-Go Squid, you definitely can go in and check out this drama. So that should be the end of this video. Oh, if you happen to be affected by the TikTok ban and somehow it really happens and you really cannot use it, I know a lot of Americans are running to Xiaohongshu now, which is the Red Note app. Somehow weirdly Chinese people and American people are already talking and having a lot of fun. Like people literally leave comments like, hello Americans, we are your Chinese spy friends. And who is to say the States is not going to ban Xiaohongshu as well? We're living such an interesting world right now. Thank you for watching Reveiw X. Please take care. I'll see you in my next video. Meanwhile, live long and happy drama watching.